To solve this system of nonlinear equations, since the first equation is already a y equals and I have a y in the second equation, I'm thinking what I'll do is take this y and plug it in right here, and my second equation will all be in terms of x. So that is, the second equation is 7x plus 2 times y, but y is really x plus 2 squared, and this is equal to negative 10. So this thing here is the second equation, but the y is now x plus 2 squared. Okay, so to solve this thing, I guess I'll square out x plus 2, combine like terms, and maybe set one side equal to 0. I think that's the approach that I'll take. Just looking at this x plus 2 squared part is really x plus 2 times x plus 2. If I FOIL this out, I get x squared plus 2x. If I multiply in the 2, I get another 2x and then a plus 4. So altogether, x plus 2 squared is x squared plus 4x plus 4. I can replace this thing with this. So that'll be my next step. 7x plus 2 times x squared plus 4x plus 4 is equal to negative 10. I guess my next step will be to distribute the 2 to all three terms. So if I multiply in this 2, we get 7x plus 2x squared plus 8x plus 8 is equal to negative 10. And okay, time to combine some like terms. On this side of the equation, I can't do anything with the 2x squared. I'll leave that alone. And I have a 7x and an 8x for a total of 15x's. And then that leaves me with 8, which I can't do anything with, and that's equal to negative 10. Now I can add 10 to this side of the equation, making this 18, and this side is equal to 0. So I'm hoping that this thing factors. And if it doesn't, well, maybe I'll use the quadratic formula or something like that. So we have 2x squared plus 15x plus 18 is 0. Okay, well, I can't divide both sides by 2 and have it nicely divided into this term, so I'm going to try a guess and check approach, like how this thing might factor. Let's see. Well, if it's going to work out nicely, I have to have a 2x and an x. And everything has to be positive. So everything is positive because I don't see any negative numbers here in the equation. I want two numbers that multiply to 18, but I have to be careful. Like, they might not add to 15. And the reason is I have a 2 here, which things aren't balanced anymore. So if you want to think off to the side, we're dealing with 18. The way this could factor, we only have to worry about the positives. It could be, 1 and 18. It could be 2 and 9. It could be 3 and 6. And that's it. Those are the only choices. But the order in which they appear matters. So, okay, my goal is to somehow get 15. So I'm just going to think about this a little bit. Let's see. Well, if I put a 9 here, for example, 2 times 9 is 18, so that's going to be too much, so I can't do that. So I could try putting like a 9 here, which means a 2 would have to go here, but that's going to be, 2 times 2 is 4 plus 9. That's not enough, so I can't use a 2 and a 9. I guess I'll try a 3 and a 6. If I put a 6 here, 2 times 6 is 12, plus 3 more is 15. Okay, so it just took a little bit of guessing, but I'm going to go with 3 and 6. The reason is 3 times 6 we know gives us 18. These two numbers don't add to 15, but that's okay. It's really 2 times 6, which is 12, plus 3 times x, and that extra 3 to 12 gives me 15. Here are the two linear factors. 2x plus 3 is equal to 0, and also x plus 6 is equal to 0. From here we can get our two x values, and then we can use either of these equations to find the corresponding y values. I'm going to start with this one. 2x plus 3 is 0. If I subtract 3 and divide both sides by 2, I get that x is equal to negative 3 halves. To get the corresponding y value, I think what I'll do is put this number in place of this x to solve for y. I'm running out of room, so I'm going to put this on the next slide. So that was x equals negative 3 halves. I'm going to put that right here. The corresponding y must be, okay, negative 3 halves plus 2 squared. And let's see, negative 3 halves. Well, 2 is really 4 halves. I'll get a common denominator so I can combine these two fractions. Negative 3 plus 4 is a positive 1. So if I sum those two fractions, I get positive 1 over 2. And if you square the fraction of a half, you get 1 on the top and 4 on the bottom. This means the x value is negative 3 halves, the corresponding y value is a fourth, and this is one of the solutions to the system. Negative 3 halves comma 1/4. Now, the other equation was x plus 6 is equal to 0, or x is equal to negative 6. Let's find the corresponding y value. Y is equal to, okay, that's negative 6 plus 2 squared, or if we add inside the parentheses, that's really negative 4 squared, which changes to a positive 16. So the solution from this point is negative 6 for x, 16 for y, and this is the second solution to the system.